All right, Rebel Rousers, my astrology aficionados, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Wednesday, the 20th of January, 2021. All right, we've got the moon in the later degrees of Aries early in the morning, and it's making a conjunction to Eris, the goddess of discord, at 23 degrees of Aries, which is creating a square to Pluto at 24 degrees of Capricorn, okay? Pluto in Capricorn has been there since 2008. It's transforming how we govern ourselves, how the world at large is being governed by the people in the position of authority, how they're governing the people not in a position of authority, okay? Pluto wants to balance things out, wants to change everything, all right? Now, Eris is the goddess of discord, which is about information that's being given, okay? And we can have information given to us, and it depends on our personal perception. Where are we at a time that information is given to us depends entirely on how well we receive that information. Now, this is extremely important because, it's like what pours out of your cup? We bump into each other, coffee pours out because coffee was in my cup. I say this all the time, but it's very relevant. It's very true right now, too. We pour and we bump into each other and tea comes out of my cup. That's because tea was in it. If it's anger comes out of me, that's because I have anger in me. And if peace comes out of me, it's because I'm full of peace, right? And we can be angry at a situation. We can be frustrated with a situation. And then innocent information comes to us, and we can take out our frustration and think that this can be an attack. All right. So this might come later on Tuesday evening, since this is happening at 1 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, depending on where you're at in the world, of course. This is our conjunction here, right around 1 Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday morning. Okay. And that's that square here to Pluto, meaning we need to change. Take a moment. The Capricorn energy says, wait a second, right? Venus, wait a second. What do I value? I value how I'm responding. I value my public image. I worked with a guy, he's a DP, he's a director of photography in the film world. And we were talking one day, and he says, because he's such a really nice guy, really nice camera guy. And he says, I just don't like to get angry. I don't like to, because a lot of people on these movie sets have big personalities. They're yellers and just, and he's just like, I don't like how it makes me look, right? I don't like how to represent myself as being a yeller. I want to, be more well-composed. Love you, Eric. Anyway, but that's not the majority of our day. The majority of our day, the chunk of our day here, okay, is going to be the Mars-Uranus conjunction that is the buzzing that everyone's talking about right now, because this is a big deal, because we have a lot of energy in Aquarius, okay? Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius. Now we have the Sun, we have Saturn, we have Jupiter, and we have Mercury, okay? We have a stellium in the sign of Aquarius, okay? Then the ruling planet of Aquarius, which is the breakthrough, it's the release. This is Uranus's job. Where there's pressure, where Saturn creates pressure, eureka! Okay, it's the breakthrough. It's the wrecking ball, all right? It's the thing where this structure, this force can't be messed with. We need the wrecking ball to come in and change things, all right? Now, Mars is our planet of action. It's just simply the foot on the accelerator, the foot on the gas pedal. It's saying, I feel, I want, I desire. Let's get up and move. Let's take action to those desires. Let's take action to those feelings, okay? Now we have the wrecking ball, Uranus, the rebellious planet. The planet's turned sideways, okay, moving through the traditional sign of Taurus. This is about material possessions. This is about things. This is traditional values, okay, traditional values. Again, Venus is up there in Capricorn, which Venus is saying we have to understand and appreciate how we govern ourselves. Right? This is our daily routine. It's in its simplest form, Venus in Capricorn. This is like, hey, look, what do you do when you wake up in the morning? What do you do when you open your eyes? Do we do one of these? Do we smile? Do we thank the day? Do we immediately go on Instagram or Facebook or check any social medias or check the phone? Or do we take a moment to honor ourselves, to honor the breath in our lungs? Do we sit up right away and meditate? Do we sit up and do some yoga? You know what I mean? So Venus here in Capricorn, which rules Taurus. Okay, this is all about what we value and valuing how we govern ourselves. Now, again, this is something we talked about yesterday, where we elect officials. We elect individuals to represent us, right? The little people. I'm a little people. We're all the little people that are watching this, okay? And so we elect other people to give us power or to govern us that has power over us. Now, this is around the world, not just here in the United States, which is Inauguration Day tomorrow, or today, rather, on the 20th. Governments are changing. Things are changing. People are waking up, right? Uranus is the great awakener. People are waking up that something is very much wrong within our structure. Something is very wrong within our infrastructure. Something is very wrong in how we are being governed and who we are electing, as our power to be. It's like getting into a personality contest or something, or not a personality contest, a looks contest. Oh, well, you look like you could be the best president for the job, president man, president woman, whatever. It's like, no, this is all screwed up. Anyway, so we have Mars, planet of action, connecting with our wrecking ball. All right. And we have this happening with a square to Jupiter and a square to Saturn. Okay, Saturn wants to make new rules. Saturn wants to make new laws. Saturn wants to solidify the age of Aquarius, which is the future. Jupiter wants to create an abundance of technology. Jupiter wants to create an abundance of communities. Okay, Jupiter wants to push off this digital era, with no hitches. Saturn is here to make sure that Jupiter doesn't go too crazy, that we're not out here chipping people, that we're not here just running amok, turning human beings into cyborgs, okay? Jupiter just says more and expansion. That's Jupiter's job. We have 2 years of Saturn, okay, here to make sure that we understand the rules of this new world that we're entering into, that we don't just, fly off the handle through technology, lose sight of humanity. The Aquarian is the only human being next to, Virgo, the Virgin here. The Aquarian is the human being in the zodiac, okay, the water bearer. All right. And as like I say all the time, the Aquarian energy is the water in the air that allows electricity to flow. It is electrical. We have the sun showing up still at 0 degrees, which is about creating something bigger than myself, creating something bigger that's going to last beyond my lifespan. Okay, so we have this energy of creating something, us personally showing up, creating something bigger than ourselves. How can we create a better world for our kids who we'll never meet? What kind of laws and rules do we need to implement during this time to ensure the safety for those children of the future? What kind of new things do we need to create in abundance? And, using this technology, using this communication, Mercury here in Aquarius as well, using technology to communicate, connecting the world together. This is an amazing time where, it's like I was born in the 80s. So it's like, phone calls to grandma were expensive because you're one county away. Now we can be on the phone with someone in Shanghai or a friend in Switzerland. Hi, Lynn, whomever, or my friends in Australia. They call me Aza. Love it. And it's like this, we're truly living in this digital age. And we're no longer in the place of sending carrier pigeons. We're no longer in the place, where the old analog technology, old analog ways of living are still being used to benefit humanity. We're using a lot of technology just like this. And can I say, if I did this every day, and if I said every day at 3 o'clock, I'm going to go to the local Java house or whatever it may be, and without this use of this technology, and every single day I'm going to talk about astrology, it's like we have the opportunity to extend beyond our reach, and this becomes timeless. I'm putting this out. What is this? This is something too about the age of Aquarius. It's fascinating to look at and think about. I'm putting this out as it's 1:58 on the 19th of January. But what time is it for you where you're watching this? You know what I mean? It's now here for you, but now is a different time. Like time and space and the connection of this new age is become very gray territory, right? So we exist in this new age. We know that things are changing. When it's coming to Uranus and Mars conjunct together in the traditional sign of Taurus, this is the rebel rousers. This is the rebellious energy wanting to break free, wanting to break the tradition. And this can come in many, many different ways. In preparation, this can be chaos. This can be the I am not allowing this oppression, will not stand kind of energy. And we can see riots. We can see people revolting. We can see a lot of anger. Potentially Mars is ruled by Aries. We've got the moon conjunct Eris with how we're dealing with information. And if people aren't happy with the information they receive, not everyone's going to be taking that high-minded approach of recognizing the balance of Pluto to Eris and the moon. Okay? People are just going to be expressing their emotions without putting thought into it first, without thinking about the higher self first, just expressing their feelings, because that's the initial, the spark, right? This is what I feel. This is how I feel, and I'm angry. And my anger, Mars energy rules Aries, is conjunct with Uranian energy, which is explosive energy. Okay? So collectively, we're all feeling this together. And the sun's in the humanitarian community place. So it's like collectively, communitily, within the community, within our social environments, there's outrage. There's abrupt, explosive energy going on today. Okay? So it's important because that is going to happen. It's going to happen no matter what. People are going to be outraged, and it's important for whomever else isn't part of the outrage wagon, okay? Which you might have reasons to be outraged, you might have reasons, but to just be peaceful, centered, It's the peaceful ones that are going to help reel in that wild energy, which is certainly going to happen, And then we're going to have the moon move into Taurus. All right, let me come back here. The moon's going to move into Taurus to settle things down. It's going to happen later on. There we go. So moon moves into Taurus. This conjunction happens right there at 4 p.m. exactly. So now the moon's in Taurus, which the moon is exalted in Taurus, which means there's a calmness, okay? And this is when this is exact. So thankfully, the moon is kind of a saving grace here when Uranus and Mars are exact conjunction. But that means the moon's involved as well, meaning emotionally, I talk about this every month. It's like the moon's exalted in Taurus. However, we've got Uranus involved, which means our stability becomes unexpected. We don't know what's going to come out of this energy, This is like just two simple ingredients. This is baking soda and vinegar. But then you put them together and all of a sudden there's a chain reaction, a chemical reaction that you can't stop. You can't just put a plug on it. This is going to go no matter what. So there's going to be a lot of us here today that are simply the cleanup crew, that are just looking out for our brothers and sisters, our families, and just trying to clean it up as best as possible and say, no matter what is going on right now, no matter what decision whoever is in power that have made a decision, that if you're unpleased by with humanity, if we're unpleased with the direction of authority, if we're unpleased with the direction of our brothers and sisters, how we're treating one another, it's going to work out, and to come across in a professional mindset, not professional, it's not the right word, but adult. It sounds kind of funny to say that, but like an adult, with the care, that we're talking with children. But that might not necessarily be the case. These could be two adults talking, but it's just like maturity. Maybe that's the better word. I think I'm sounding insensitive. Handling this with maturity, the best maturity that we possibly can, because people are going to vent, people are going to express today, So whatever's going on, handle it with kid gloves, handle it with a sense of maturity, responsibility, and just know that if we keep doing our work, Venus up in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, if we value our lives and what we're doing in our work and our daily discipline, what's happening outside matters very little. Respectfully. respectfully. You know what I mean? It's just like this inner here is the key to having an abundant, happy everything out here. Okay? And we'll get through it one day at a time, my friends. Whatever chaos brews up on this day, we'll make it out all right. Love you. I wish you enough as always. Thank you for hanging out with me. And we'll see you tomorrow.